I really like to say thank you to BenQ, not just for sponsoring this video today by sending me one of their products for testing. I also like to say thank you for showing me what I have missed through all the years when I was working and playing on my PC. I never used a ScreenBar before because something like that was just not existing in my world, and even I came across something like that by accident when I did some window shopping. I never thought I need something like that, but again, thank you very much BenQ, because now I know I was wrong. And now you're asking yourself, why would I need a ScreenBar now? Because with those TVs here, or those screens here, they're actually a little bit too big for this ScreenBar. And no, it's not for this room, because in this room I was actually smart enough to install my downlights and lights behind the TV to not have any reflection or shadows from objects on the screen. Different story in my office, because when I'm working on my PC, I have a lot of distraction from the ceiling light actually on my keyboard because of shadows and also reflection on my screen. But thanks to the BenQ ScreenBar, this issue is gone. Before I show you now how this product looks on my curved monitor, and yes, you can use this ScreenBar on curved monitors up to 1000R, but then I would recommend to use this adapter to get this ScreenBar a little bit further away from the screen. Otherwise, you're blocking half of the ScreenBar. Okay, so not the point, of course, but with this adapter, easy peasy. Anyway, installation is very simple, because all what you have to do is actually you sit the ScreenBar on top and that's it. It is quite simple. The only question now, of course, is now, what are we doing with this? Because there's no external power supply supplied by BenQ, unlikely the batteries which you need for the remote controller. But this is not a big deal, because I have tested the BenQ ScreenBar on USB 2.0 and USB 3.0 and it works just perfectly. Even with USB ports on the screen, I haven't had any problem at all. But just keep in mind, if you're experiencing some flickering or your light is turning on and off, just try a different USB port, or maybe you have to get an external power supply. So let's talk about build quality and price, and let's start with the price. BenQ is asking for 250 Australian dollar on their official website, and I'm very sure if you look in different shops you can find this product a little bit cheaper. $250. Let's talk about build quality, especially the ScreenBar. I have nothing to complain about. This is just BenQ quality as I know it from many other products. This is quite heavy, what I would expect from a high-end product, and there's also no ugly noise or squeaking noise. Everything is just very tight, perfect. Again, in my opinion, BenQ quality. On the other hand, I had an issue with the little wireless controller here. Let's talk about the good and bad things from this wireless controller, and I like to start with the good things. This dial here on the side where you can set up brightness and your color temperature, and yes, I'm going to show you this in a bit. This is just a great experience. It absolutely feels perfect in my opinion. Absolutely fantastic. But this is so far the only good thing what I have to say, because the rest is not very user-friendly in my opinion. So first of all, if you have set up the lamp and you like to change something quickly, it is not that easy, because you have to activate the controller first or wake up the controller first before you can actually press any button. And I'm going to show you this also in a little bit of a demonstration video later on. So this is a little bit of a downside, because it takes actually 1 or 2 seconds before you can press a button. And if you like to change something very quickly, it's just not necessary in my opinion. But anyway, this is one of the downsides. The other downside what I found is with this little lid. And what I found is here the batteries, and this is just held by magnets. So you just put this actually on the back here and then that's it. But it was wobbling like crazy. I was able to fix it, and I'm going to show you what was the issue, or I can actually tell you the issue. The screws here are not tightened enough, or let's say like this, they're sitting a little bit too far out, and those magnets actually hitting on the screws, and then this is very unstable actually. I was able to fix it with just tighten the screws, but this shouldn't happen on a product like this with this price range. And now I would say, let's jump into my office and I show you how this product works.
I have a dream, that's all I need. I'll make it happen with some work and belief. Know what I want, so I'll take it on. I've made mistakes, but mistakes make you strong. Let's break it down for a minute. I want the crown, I'm gon' get it. You hear me loud, man, I'm winning. Yeah, Charlie Sheen will be grinning. These ladies know that I'm sinning, and this is just the beginning. I'm closing in the ninth inning. There ain't no point in resisting. Living life like a dream, live it right, that's the thing. Every night got a team, I've been tied to the scene. Out on stage, here I'm screaming. Okay, it's a dream, and I pray as a team. One day it'll be me. If I want it, then I get it. Head down, don't regret it. Push myself to the limit. If I play it, then I win it. I'm just saying, I'm just living for today. For a minute, I don't stay, I just...
Let's take a closer look on the wireless controller, and the first impression was actually very good. Very high-end, premium quality. But when I look a little bit closer, there are a couple of flaws I really don't like. So let's talk about the fact that the wireless controller is not sitting plain on the table, as you can see. And here it is wobbling, and this comes from the lid for the batteries, because when I'm removing this and I'm placing the base unit without the lid, it is actually very stable. So there's something not quite right with the magnets here, because I think the screws are a little bit too far out, and therefore, yeah, the lid here is actually bouncing on the screws, and therefore it is actually making, yeah, a weird noise actually, and it's not very nice for the premium price what BenQ is asking here. So I'm going to have a look closer. Maybe I can tighten the screws a little bit more to get rid about this very annoying feature. And yes, I was right. After I tightened the screws a little bit more, the lid for the batteries is now sitting much better on the base unit, and there is no wobbling anymore, no noise anymore. This is an easy fix, but it shouldn't happen in the first place. Let's talk about the function from the controller, but before you can actually use any of those touch buttons or the dial, you have to activate the controller. And you can activate the wireless controller with holding your hands for a couple of seconds over the controller, and then it turns on. It appears to me that this little black button here, which also controls the main function from the Halo ScreenBar, has a brightness sensor in it which activates the controller. So let's start with the brightness setting from the Halo ScreenBar, and to activate this you have to press the brightness button, and then with the dial, which by the way makes a very good impression, a very high-end impression. It is very nice actually to control this. You can set up the maximum or minimum brightness as you like it. The next setting what we have is the color temperature, and to activate it we're just pressing on this button, and then again with the dial we can set up as we like it, from very cold to very warm, which I actually prefer. And again, the dial is just very easy to handle. And then we have a memory function or a favorite function, which is this little heart here, and you can set up this as you like it with different color temperature or different brightness. You just press this button and hold it to save the current configuration, and then you can change this back at any time. So I'm just turning everything off, I'm pressing my favorite button, and it comes back with the setting I used before. And last but not least, we have an automatic function which is changing the brightness and the color temperature according to your environment brightness. But what I found is, regardless of what my brightness is in my room, it is always changing in a very coldish color temperature, which I personally don't like. The Halo ScreenBar offers you 3 different light modes. Right now we have the main bar activated and also the backlight, which gives you a very nice indirect light. To activate or deactivate, just press the black button on the wireless controller and you can activate or deactivate all the different light modes. And of course, you can turn it off as well. There's one thing to consider. If you use the main bar and the backlight, the main bar is not as bright as if you turn off the backlight here. As you can see, there was a big difference in terms of the brightness. So if you need a little bit more of a brightness in front of your TV, I would recommend to turn off the backlight to give the full power to the main bar. Okay, so what is my conclusion? What is my summary for the BenQ ScreenBar? Is this a must-have? And of course, it's not a must-have, but it's a very nice to have, because the only thing what you must have is actually some groceries in your fridge. So let's be serious for a moment. If you work or play a lot on PCs, then a screen bar is a must-have in my opinion. There is no distraction anymore from any shadows from a ceiling light or any reflection on the screen, and you can fully concentrate on the action on the screen or maybe on the Excel sheet on your screen. And if you like this video, then please like, share and subscribe. I see you guys next time. Bye.